December 7th, 1942. Portsmouth, England. 10 Royal Marine Commandos stand on a dock staring at 6 flimsy canvas kayaks, 16 feet long, collapsible, barely seaworthy. An officer laughs. "You're going to war in those toys?" Major Herbert Blondie Hassler checks his watch. In 4 hours, they'll board a submarine for German-occupied France. Their mission? Paddle 90 miles up the Gironde River to Bordeaux, plant limpet mines on German cargo ships, then escape through enemy territory. The Royal Navy called it suicide. Churchill had to personally approve it because nobody believed 10 men in canvas boats could accomplish anything. "This is the most harebrained scheme I've ever seen. You'll all be dead in 48 hours. But Hassler knew the stakes. German ships were using Bordeaux to supply U-boats in the Atlantic. Sink those ships, save thousands of Allied sailors. All they had to do was paddle 90 miles through enemy waters and somehow survive. The odds? Virtually zero. But if they succeeded, they'd change the Atlantic War. 10 men, 6 canvas kayaks, 1 impossible mission. Major Herbert Hassler wasn't your typical Royal Marine, a yachtsman and inventor obsessed with unconventional warfare. In 1940, he watched Germans bomb British shipping with impunity. Traditional strikes weren't working, too loud, too obvious. So Hassler proposed something radical. Train commandos to paddle kayaks into enemy harbors, plant magnetic mines, and vanish. The Royal Navy thought he was insane, but Churchill saw potential. In July 1942, he authorized the combined operations pilotage parties. Hassler handpicked 12 Royal Marines for brutal training. They practiced in freezing Scottish locks, learned to paddle in complete silence, navigate by stars, time their breathing so sentries couldn't hear them. 8 men washed out from hypothermia and exhaustion. The remaining 12 became the Royal Marines Boom Patrol Detachment, the best kayak commandos in Britain. By November, they were ready. Target, Bordeaux. German cargo ships supplying U-boats. British bombers couldn't reach it. Surface ships couldn't penetrate defenses, but 6 kayaks could slip past everything. The plan: a submarine drops them offshore. Paddle 90 miles up the Gironde River at night. Hide during the day. Reach Bordeaux. Plant limpet mines. Paddle back to sea for submarine pickup. Simple, quiet, unstoppable. At least, that was the theory. December 7th, 1942. HMS Tuna surfaces 5 miles off the French coast. Midnight, freezing rain. 6-foot swells. 10 commandos struggle to unload 6 kayaks in darkness. Waves crash over the deck. They name their boats after fish: catfish, crayfish, conger, coalfish, cuttlefish, cachalot. At 2:36 a.m. they push off. The submarine dives. They're alone. 90 miles from target. 4 hours later, cachalot hits a tidal bore. The kayak flips, breaks in half. Both commandos disappear into freezing water. No rescue. 2 men gone. They push forward. By dawn, 15 miles covered. They hide in marshland, soaking wet, shivering, surrounded by German patrols. That night, coalfish get separated in fog. Marine Ellery and Marine Fisher vanish. Hassler fires a signal flare. Nothing. 4 kayaks left. Second night. Stronger currents. Conger capsizes near a German observation post. Sergeant Wallace and Marine Ewart swim to shore. Captured. Executed 2 weeks later. 3 kayaks. Third night. Cuttlefish strikes a submerged log. Hull tears open. Corporal Sheard and Marine Moffat reach shore. Captured. Executed. By the 4th night, only 2 kayaks remain. Catfish and crayfish. 4 men out of 10. Bordeaux is still 30 miles away. Half the team is dead or captured, but turning back isn't an option. December 11th, 1942. 4th night. 4 men. 2 kayaks. Bordeaux Harbor ahead. Major Hassler and Marine Sparks in catfish. Corporal Laver and Marine Mills in crayfish. 87 miles paddled. 6 teammates lost. Capsizes, patrols, hypothermia survived. Now comes the hardest part. Bordeaux Harbor. 19 German cargo ships supplying U-boats with fuel, ammunition, torpedoes. Sentries everywhere. Searchlights sweep every 20 seconds. One sound, and machine guns tear them apart. Hassler signals Laver. They split up. Double the targets. Catfish approaches the first ship. German voices on deck. Laughter. A harmonica. He pulls out a limpet mine. 8 pounds. Magnetic. 9-hour fuse. Silently, he attaches it below the waterline. The magnet clicks. Hassler freezes. Nothing. Just waves against metal. Next ship, another mine, then another. Marine Sparks works the opposite side. Like ghosts, no splashing, no talking. 20 minutes, 5 Limpet mines, 5 ships. Across the harbor, Laver and Mills place 3 more. 8 ships, 8 mines, 8 explosions coming. At 0:45 a.m. they paddle away, the hardest part over. Or so they think. Getting in was hard, getting out will be impossible. December 12, 1942, 6 o'clock a.m., the first mine detonates. A cargo ship splits in half. Fire erupts. Sirens wail. 6 minutes later, the second explodes. Then the third. The fourth. By 7:30 a.m., 6 German ships sinking. 2 heavily damaged. Wehrmacht troops flood the docks. Hassler and his teammates are 15 miles downstream. Kayaks ditched. Too risky. Every patrol boat hunting them. New plan, walk 100 miles through occupied France to Spain. Hassler pairs with Sparks. Laver with Mills. They split up. 3 days walking at night, hiding during day. Chocolate rations and stream water. Third day, a French farmer sees their uniforms. He smiles. Resistance. The French resistance smuggles them through. Safe houses, forged papers, secret routes. But Laver and Mills aren't lucky. German patrols spot them near Montleux. Firefight. Mills takes a bullet. They surrender. Germans execute them 3 days later. Hassler and Sparks keep moving. Rivers, checkpoints, barns. March 2nd, 1943. 3 months later, they cross the Pyrenees into Spain. Safe, alive, the only survivors. 10 men entered France. 2 came back, but those 2 sank 6 ships and changed the Atlantic War. The German Navy never recovered. 6 ships sunk. 2 damaged beyond repair. 40,000 tons lost. U-boat operations disrupted for months. Operation Frankton delayed German deployments by 3 months. Allied convoys crossed the Atlantic without facing full Wolfpack strength. Thousands of sailors lived because 10 men paddled 90 miles in canvas boats. But the cost was devastating. Of 10 Royal Marines launched, 8 died. 2 from hypothermia. 6 captured and executed. Hitler's commando order: capture commandos, interrogate, execute immediately. Sergeant Wallace, Marine Ewart, Corporal Sheard, Marine Moffat, Corporal Laver, Marine Mills, all shot. Unmarked graves. Marine Ellery and Fisher drowned. Bodies never found. Only Hassler and Sparks survived. April 1943. Back in England. The Royal Navy didn't believe them. 2 men sank 6 ships with kayaks? Impossible. Reconnaissance photos confirmed it. Bordeaux devastated. German operations halted. Churchill called it the most courageous and imaginative of all raids. King George VI awarded Hassler the Distinguished Service Order. Sparks received the Distinguished Service Medal. But the medals felt hollow. 8 men lost. 8 brothers. 8 heroes never coming home. The mission succeeded. The price almost unbearable. Sometimes impossible victories demand impossible sacrifices. Operation Frankton changed special operations forever. Before Cockleshell, military leaders believed small raids had minimal value. After, they realized 10 men could accomplish what battalions couldn't. Operation Frankton influenced the creation of the Special Boat Service. Hassler's tactics became standard for maritime commandos worldwide. Today, Special Forces study Operation Frankton. The planning, the resilience, the audacity. Hassler never stopped innovating. After the war, he invented the self-steering wind vane, revolutionizing solo sailing. Competed in the first transatlantic race at 52. But he never forgot. Every December 7th, he raised a glass to the 8 who didn't come home. Sparks became a lecturer, sharing the story with new generations. Lived until 2002, always crediting his fallen teammates. 1955. The Cockleshell Heroes film brought their story to millions. Statues erected, memorials built. The Royal Marines enshrined it as the greatest small unit raid in British history. The greatest legacy isn't the ships or medals. It's proof that courage and determination overcome impossible odds. 10 men told their plan was suicide. Their boats were toys. They'd be dead in 48 hours. They paddled anyway. 2 survived. 8 gave everything. Together, they changed the war. That's the legacy of the Cockleshell Heroes.